It is kind of a rainy day outside, so I am out here on my back porch and I am checking out my aloe vera plant that's probably over 20 years old. And today we're going to talk about some things that I've learned over those 20 years in taking care of an aloe vera plant. It's really nothing fancy. There may or may not be some sort of a, I don't know, slideshow, PowerPoint presentation. I don't know what they're calling it these days. This is YouTube. I'm over here talking about plants. Hopefully my fan base understands what I'm going through right now. I like taking videos of my plants, but I haven't got all of the editing down. So this is going to be kind of a very basic video of basically just me talking about my 20-year-old aloe vera. Call her Big Mama, Mama Vera, Mother Vera, just plain Vera, the plant of life. There's a lot going on in here. And I had my orchids kind of shoved down in there. That's why she kind of looks like she's kind of been shoved down in there. And I cannot remember the last time that I repotted her. So it has probably been a couple of years at least since she has been repotted. And that's actually one of those things that I'm going to talk about, is I don't repot her very often. So I guess if we're going to follow along to some sort of outline, the first thing that I've learned from my 20-year-old aloe vera is that you don't necessarily have to repot them every year. They're a pretty sturdy plant, so this might be a very short video because, I mean, there's really not a whole lot that I've done with her, but just kind of, I mean, they're a pretty sturdy plant, kind of drought tolerant, kind of whatever, but some things that I have learned over the past 20 years with her is that you don't really have to repot her every year. She's got a bunch of pups down in here. I think it actually started out as this. This was one of the main ones. This big, you can kind of see the different separations up in here. And I've probably let her go a little bit too long just because she's got all this dead stuff, and they do kind of start to like branch off and almost get like a trunk. But this big one over here is kind of like one of the very first ones that I got. And then it kind of branched off to this kind of bigger one over here. And she branches off with pups. I say branch off. She makes little pups that'll sprout out up in here. Let's see if we can get some of the younger ones in there. But I've never propagated from seed. That's, I guess, is going to be the second thing that I've learned, is they do create a flower. And usually it's like once a year. And apparently I've missed this year because it's already flowered and died off. These little offshoots right here. They were green and they produce, I think, the different aloe vera, sometimes you could get like an orange flower or some yellow flowers. These are like the yellow flowers, and they just kind of make a little, I don't know, they come up and they just make like a little sprout. These are actually the seeds, and we've got them all over the ground down there too. All the little petals has fallen off. And they do make seeds, and I think you can propagate them and plant the seeds and grow them from seeds. I've never done it. I've always just kind of transplanted the little pups that she sprouts off, but you can plant the seeds too. And let's see how many of these little seed stalks or these little flowers that came off of it. I mean, these are the little petals that have fallen off of the little pods. So they've fallen off, and these are just the petals. the seeds in them. I don't think you can get the little seeds out of there. Not really sure how that works because I've never done it, but I think you can. I don't know, maybe we'll get some from that. Let's see how many different plants are in here, because I'm assuming it's like one flower per actual plant. So this is one, two, and sometimes these, they branch off. So 2, 3, 4, and these are just coming out real easy, so they've already done their thing. So are you ready to come out yet? Nope, it's not ready to come out yet. Okay, so this whole bunch right here has got at least 1, 2, 3, 4 different plants in there that have been, I guess, old enough to flower. Because once it gets to a certain age, I guess, they flower off. All these little pups down in here, I guess they're not old enough to flower off yet, but I usually just repot those. So first thing, you don't necessarily have to repot them every year. They're pretty sturdy. They make flowers. So those are my two points so far. And I think they actually kind of like to be a little crowded. So that's point number 3. I planted some of them where it's just the one. And this one kind of, I don't know, it's like he gets kind of scraggly or whatever if I've just planted just one. But look, he even made a little pup down there. See that one? This one has puffed off. But I think they do better like whenever you pot them like a bunch in a pot. So this little cluster right here has got at least 1, 2, 3 of them in here, and I think they do better when they're planted in groups. So this one's done okay, and this one's done pretty good too, but this one I planted as a single, and I don't know, he's doing okay, but I think they do better in groups. And number 4, I guess, would be, like, I don't really pay too much attention whenever I am, like, replanting them, like what type of soil I use. I usually just use, like, a basic potting soil, I guess. Sometimes I'll use, like, a cacti mix just for better drainage. I think as long as it's, like, a good loose soil, they're not real particular. I've mixed sand in there before and that sort of thing, but I've never been real picky with my like potting mix, and they've always done pretty good. So that's 4 points. I don't know, 5. Point number 5. They don't, I mean, they're drought tolerant. They're pretty good. I think you probably could overwater them, but this is kind of like one of the ones that I've got on the back porch because they kind of thrive on neglect. Like, they're pretty sturdy. They're a pretty easy plant. Pretty good for beginners, I guess. I mean, I am not a plant expert by any means. So the fact that this thing has survived 20 years, kind of a miracle, but like, I don't know, she's pretty sturdy. Just don't overwater it, I guess. Okay, so your 5 points that I've learned in my 20 years of having the same aloe vera plant. They're pretty sturdy. They make flowers. Potting soil doesn't really matter too much. And they do better in groups. I think they do pretty good in the shade too. I get, not shade, sunny. This has been its spot for a while now. And it does pretty good inside, partial sunny, that sort of thing. I don't know, I've learned that it's a pretty good plant, aloe vera. It's got medicinal purposes too. You put them on sunburns. I don't know, I actually think they are edible maybe. I don't know if you like mix the juice. I've seen like aloe vera juice, probably good for your digestion. I haven't personally tried to eat it. I just put it on sunburns. But overall, aloe vera, pretty good plant. I've enjoyed it. in our 20 years together. All right. That's that. See y'all next time.